It is really important to empower young ladies, and you know that I know that.
You certainly do know. Now, I don't have any girls, but I support you 100%.
And this is Chick to Chick. Okay, so as we said, I have a lot of girls. They span in all ages. One thing is for sure, I have found it incredibly important to keep empowering them and to keep letting them know that they can do things. They are valued, they are important, and I've really tried to instill that in them from all the ages that my kids are, spanning from into their 30s and all the way down to 13. It's so important.
I agree with you. No, I don't have a girl, I have a boy, but I do support this 100%. I do think that we need to send a positive message to young ladies that you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. I mean, really, this is all about you, and we need to continue to set positive examples for them as well. You know, I really have an issue sometimes when we say that, you know, a movie star is a role model or an athlete is a role model.
Right.
Moms, you are the most important role model for your daughter. And I don't have a daughter, but I also feel like I'm the most important role model for my son. And so I want to give him a positive message as well.
It's also good that boys do learn a little bit of this because they're going to come up against powerful young women if we keep this up. And so they need to be ready to meet these young girls where they are as they mature. So it's good either way you look at it.
It is. Now, there is an organization that's all about empowering young girls, which brings us to our guest today, Gillian Byerly. She is with Girls on the Run. Hi, Gillian.
Hi, Gillian.
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
Great. Gillian, what is Girls on the Run about? What's it all about?
So Girls on the Run is a 10-week after-school program for girls in 2nd through 8th grade. And we are really focused on giving girls the social and emotional skills that they need to grow in confidence, to share their voice, and to really empower them to be successful in setting goals and accomplishing them later in life.
So what does it look like? I mean, I have to tell you that I have a 13-year-old, and for all the years that she was in elementary school and then moved into middle school, I kept saying, will you do Girls on the Run? Will you do it? And she was like, I think I'm okay. I'm all right. I really wanted her to do this. So explain what a typical Girls on the Run, hour or 2-hour session will be like for these young ladies.
Sure. So each of the sessions is 90 minutes and they are dismissed from school usually. It's mostly school-based, although we do have some community-based sites. And they'll wander down to the classroom and they'll meet with their coaches who are all trained volunteers with all their background checks and everything. And they will engage in a little bit of casual conversation. They'll have a snack. We give them a water bottle. And we sort of gauge the temperature at that point. Like, how is their day? What's the drama going on at school? What's going on in their lives before we start our curriculum. So the curriculum is very structured. It is evidence-based. So they'll start by introducing the big idea of the curriculum. And it could be, the importance of having balance in your life. And what does that mean? And what does it look like? So we'll start the girls thinking about that topic before we go into some stretching and strengthening exercises. And then we do some warm-up games to get them moving. And then we have some dynamic discussions, and then they go into their longer workout, which is to prepare them for the season-ending 5K, which they'll all complete with an adult running buddy. And then we come back together and we process everything that we've talked about and we've learned. So they will have been introduced to a new skill. We would have practiced that new skill, and then we would have sort of debriefed afterwards. And then we finish every practice with an energy award, which is really highlighting a girl who sort of embodied the theme of the lesson and the Girls on the Run values of caring and kindness and things like that. Before we do our group cheer, and then we dismiss. It's a lot packed in.
There really is a lot packed in. I have 2 questions for you. First of all, you mentioned these young ladies are 2nd through 8th grade. I'm wondering why you target that age. And the other thing, you brought up the curriculum. What are you stressing to these young ladies in that curriculum?
Yeah, great question. So we target that age group because we know from a lot of research that has been done that even by age 6, girls are identifying boys as being smarter than they are. By age 7, girls have stopped believing that they can do big things like become president, be an astronaut, be a scientist. They've stopped believing that. Parents are feeding into this as well because they're twice as likely to Google, is my son gifted? Than they are to Google, is my daughter gifted? So girls are really competing with a tremendously restrictive set of messages through media and just through other engaging things that happen. And so we are designed to cut through that noise and give them the tools and the skills that they need to deconstruct those messages and to really sort of get their heads above the clouds so that they can gain a bit of perspective and really feel confident in doing big things. It's important also because at this age, by age 9, girls' self-esteem peaks, actually, and then it starts a really steep decrease throughout adolescence. It decreases at about 3.5 times the rate of boys. So it's really important that this program is there as a bridge for girls to sort of stop that decrease in self-esteem. By middle school, girls are actually outperforming boys in math and science subjects, but their self-perception of their own competence in those subjects is so low that they drop out of the subjects that they love and they don't go on to pursue those subjects at a higher level.
Or they're sort of perceived as nerdy and they don't like that connotation because it's not supposed to fit with a cool girl. I had that in one of my daughters. So let me ask you, if you've got some of these kids they're the young elementary schoolers moving into middle school, if you've had several that have gone through your whole program, what are you seeing out of some of these girls through that time frame of several years?
Yeah, I coached my first season of Girls on the Run. I coached my daughter's team, and my daughter at the beginning of the season clung to my side, didn't raise her hand to share in discussions, and didn't really extend herself beyond the friends that she already had in the group at the time. And by the end of the season, I saw such a huge transformation in her. She was raising her hand. It was like she could care less if I was there as her coach or not. She had really developed some powerful thinking and was willing to share her thoughts and ideas. And I saw tremendous growth just in her. So for girls that do repeat the program, and we have different versions of that curriculum, and from a different level of maturity, they approach it slightly differently, and they get so much out of it. We see a huge amount of transformation in their lives. We have girls who come from all different backgrounds, all socioeconomic backgrounds, and it's really important for all of them. Girls who actually are more affluent have a bigger dysfunctional relationship with their body, if you want to say that, than girls from lower income, which I think is interesting as well. Wow. So this program impacts every girl, no matter where she's come from or her upbringing or her socioeconomic status. We see transformation and growth in the classroom. They are less afraid to raise their hands in class. They do better academically because we put their emotional well-being at the forefront. They have stronger friendships. Their emotional well-being at this age is so centered around their peer relationships that helping them understand, what does it mean to be a friend? How should a friend treat you? How should a friend make you feel? How can you be a good friend? How can you recognize when a friend is struggling? All of those things, we see them being able to transfer all of those skills that they've learned in Girls on the Run into their daily lives.
The name of the program is Girls on the Run, and as you pointed out, it ends with a 5K. But is this program really about running?
Yeah, it's really about so much more than running. We use running as a tool to teach these social and emotional skills, but the running piece is very much at their own pace. We have girls with all abilities. We worked really hard with the National Center for Health and Physical Activity and Disability to incorporate adaptations in all of our programming and in our coach training so that girls of all abilities can fully participate. So this is not about the running piece. The 5K really ties into the fact that at the beginning of the 10-week program, they are setting what seems like an impossible goal. And then with the support and encouragement of their team and their mentors, they are supporting and encouraging each other throughout the season. And then they cross that finish line. And it's when they do that, that they're connected to that tangible sense of confidence that comes only from accomplishing something amazing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people after listening to this are going to want more information. Maybe it's even an aunt, a grandmother, or someone to pass along to their little girl in their life. So Gillian, where can people find out more about this Girls on the Run?
Sure. So the best place to start is our website, girlsontherun.org. And from there, they can connect to their local council because we are in all 50 states. And there are so many different opportunities to get involved, to get a girl involved, to become involved as a mentor, as a coach, as a volunteer at one of the 5Ks. All of that information they can find on the website.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Gillian, thank you so much for joining us today. This was just great information. I love that there is a program out there to empower young ladies.
Yes.
You know, it's something that I have noticed. You're coming from the girl perspective.
Right.
I'm coming from the boy perspective. And I'm being honest and transparent. I've noticed that adolescent and teen girls work harder than boys, they try harder than boys, and they seem to be more focused than boys. And I say, way to go, girls. Way to go.
I would totally agree with that. And one thing that I see in this program that I really do wish I had had it for the other girls is this beautiful camaraderie with peers.
Yep.
Because I think the peers are also helping as they're growing to lift each other up. And we find in many places, we've done our middle school blues, we've done a lot of conversation, talk about girls not really being kind to each other. And I feel like when you're in that kind of setting, you're both lifting each other up. So gosh, it's a really, really great message. You know, Shay has one more year.
I could get her
into this, and I just might do that.
It's win-win. Well, thanks for tuning in. As we always tell you, we are all over social media, and we love that you are tuning in and supporting our podcast.
Absolutely. And you can tune in every single Monday if you subscribe to the Chick to Chick YouTube page. Then you'll learn about what we're doing every single Monday, you lucky person, you.
Indeed. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will be back next week to chirp about another topic.